No, they're not. He doesn't even wear all of them. He wears like the same, like maybe 7. Like
And you just
three
buy
of them.
like some of
And
them.
it takes up half the closet space and it makes him so angry.
So you have like 6 and that's about he wears it.
He thinks he's gonna wear them. And then, so at Jupiter, they buy them jeans, like all the guys that actually work and stuff. They buy them 5 pairs of jeans a year. Well, he doesn't go through 5 pairs of jeans a year, so he has like maybe 10 pairs of jeans that he wears, and they're folded in the closet. And he set like 20 jeans in wrappers still that he has not worn, and he won't wear them because they're not broken. They feel weird. They're stiff. I don't want to wear them. They're not gonna wear them unless you want them. And so they're all in there. It's a mess. And then he doesn't. They give them 5 shirts a year, and they transition through styles. So like this year they're like blue, and they have kind of the logo on. Last year they were gray and had the regular logo on. And then the ones before were like a light gray. They're in the dresser. Well, we don't need them anymore because they're old. They go in the closet. And I can't wear this.
Mr. Davis.
Moneybags.
How are you today?
Well,
I've seen you in a while. I've been so lucky to miss you.
Everything good?
I'm good, man. How about you?
Enough.
Good enough? Staying busy?
I got start vacation in 2.5 weeks, and we'll get here soon enough.
Where you headed?
Well, we're going on a cruise first, which we've had planned for a year. And then,
Pardon?
so we're flying, so we're getting back from our cruise on June 2nd, whatever that Sunday is. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday morning we get on a plane. Fly out to Spokane, Washington.
No.
Getting a Jeep, driving across Idaho to Livingston.
Oh, let me tell you about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good, right?
Yeah.
Very nice.
We'll spend a week up there. Yeah. Finish up, going back to Spokane, spend a day or so in the city just to check it out.
Okay, it's nice.
Never been.
Yeah, we'll go through the mountains.
So, yeah, so that'll be a
You're going
week.
to mid. Eric Livingston's on this side of the Continental Divide.
Out, just like Paul Newman, right? Yeah, no doubt. Or Brad Pitt or whatever.
That'll be you.
I,
So good.
I can look that good. Catch it.
There we go.
How we doing, Madam Clerk? All right. I can always tell when it's not adjusted the way that you left it the last time. Keeping my head above water. She's too busy to be happy. I think she is. She's so busy.
Oh, I went way down. Waiting for all the businesses in the heart area to open.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Have you been to, my aunt said she went to the new restaurant in Palm City. They have one here. What was the name of that? She said it was really good.
Italian place,
Lenore's.
It's really good. We had to go literally at 3 o'clock I've been by lately.
Why, it looks really good, but there's a couple of flaws in it that it
Like the
looks.
finish or?
Yeah, actually, the finish, where they welded the pieces together, you can completely see it. It's kind of odd looking.
Last time I was by, there was still, it wasn't done, it was still.
They're still working on it, but, yeah.
Is that new?
Yes, but it doesn't work yet.
Alright, I'm sitting here going, I don't remember that TV.
Yeah, that's gonna be nice.
Gigantic.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice.
We get to make it to the new Costco. Yeah.
Did you see in the newspaper today, in the TC Plum, that Shannon Martin, the mayor of Port St. Lucie, hinted that
Oh,
there's gonna be one
yeah,
in Port
no.
St. Lucie? And there was rumor at the Costco in Stewart, there were employees saying, yeah, that they put in for transfers when that opened.
Jen was directly involved with that.
Is it happening?
There's nothing concrete. Oh, of course.
Because the gas is much
So that
cheaper.
report went to the mayor. Sniffing around, and the mayor said, well, she didn't have any information, but if anybody knew anything, called. So the reporter leaves her, and she's like, the mayor told me, like, I needed to call you. Jen, of course, called the mayor's office. Not exactly. Anyway, so yeah, she told me all about that story a couple of days ago. But no, there's nothing,
They haven't purchased the land there. Once they purchase the land.
no,
need to read it. You need us to read it still?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. What do you guys do?
Yeah, move toward, like your family.
And is anyone coming for the anyone coming for the
No, they emailed us, they were going to, but they are late.
pictures? Okay with that? Yeah. It is always the middle of your
Never let you down.
It's like a hesitation in you, but not the school over there.
I would have just been like, gotta go, man.
Oh, no, we didn't.
Official business. No, she finished like 20 minutes ago.
Oh, okay.
Where they do it, they do the younger kids first, and older, and then she was done with the older.
But I think it was, Anna's kids go there.
Yeah, she has all of it.
She was telling us that they never start on time, they're late.
5 minutes late, but if you stay for the whole thing, I would have been late, but I wasn't. I didn't need to see a bunch of other videos.
And there was something afterwards too, right?
They do like a little like art show, cookies. It's all right though.
Well done.
So they do one like they do a Christmas and they do a spring. It's like it was like 1950s rock band, like Elvis, Beach Boys. So they all had like sock hop dresses on. It's cute.
What time is it?
Oh, it's gonna be here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you drive?
Good evening, everyone. Just want to make sure you can hear me loud and clear.
Yes, hello, Councilmember French, thank you for zooming in today. Tonight.
Absolutely. I'm glad it worked out. See how Starlink really works.
I assume she'll be here, right? Oh, okay. You wouldn't have quorum, right?
We're not.
It was very stressful. Where do I go?
I mean, you can still sit next to me, it's fine. Or we can spread
So,
out.
like,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's set to go, it's set to go away at 10 o'clock. I figured out how to do it. I'll do it from
What's that? It's still going.
Mayor, I just want to let you know, we've moved the clock to over here.
let's go by this, thank you. And are we live?
We're live.
All right, good evening, everyone. It's 7 p.m. I'd like to call tonight's meeting to order. It is May 8th, 2025, and it's our regular council meeting. Lori, can I get roll call?
Mayor Young,
Here.
Vice Mayor Satori, Councilmember Brandon,
Here.
Councilmember Painter,
Here.
and Councilmember French via Zoom.
Here.
Thank you. And I will lead the invocation and pledge of allegiance tonight. So, Father, let us take this moment to reflect on the meaning of leadership and the responsibility we carry together. Serving on council is an honor and a calling, a commitment to serve our community with integrity, humility, and respect for the people who have placed their trust in us. In 1 Peter chapter 5, verses 2-3, it says, "Be shepherds of God's flock that is under your care. Watch over them, not because you must, but because you are willing, as God wants you to be, not pursuing dishonest gain, but eager to serve, not lording it over those entrusted to you, but being examples to the flock." This reminds us that our role is not to command, but to care, not to be served, but to serve. We are here to listen, to protect, to guide, and to lead by example. As we move through our agenda this evening, may we keep in mind the trust placed in us by our residents and that we always work towards the common good. Amen.
Amen.
If you could please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I would like to get a motion to approve the agenda with one amendment. I would like to add a proclamation for National Police Week and National Peace Officers Memorial Day.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, moving on to presentations. And before we start, there's several proclamations tonight. I just want to say to our EMS, our fire department, our police department, our clerk's office, of all proclamations recognizing you all. I can't tell you how much I respect you and how much you mean to our community. So thank you for everything you do. And I could probably say on this one, I do speak on behalf of all council with those comments as well. So thank you very much. And with that, the first proclamation is proclaiming May 18th through May 24th, 2025 as EMS Week.
Whereas emergency medical services is a vital public service, and whereas the members of emergency medical service teams are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury. Whereas emergency medical services has grown to fill a gap by providing important out-of-hospital care, including preventative medicine, follow-up care, and access to telemedicine. Whereas the emergency medical services system consists of first responders, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, emergency medical dispatchers, firefighters, police officers, educators, administrators, pre-hospital nurses, emergency medical services teams, whether career or volunteer, engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills. Whereas it is appropriate to recognize the value of the accomplishments of emergency medical services providers by designating Emergency Medical Services Week. Therefore, Mayor Young of the Village of Tequesta, in recognition of this event, does hereby proclaim the week of May 18th through 24th, 2025 as Emergency Medical Services Week in the Village of Tequesta.
Thank you. And we did pictures before the meeting. Moving on to agenda item 2, proclamation proclaiming May 17th through May 23rd, 2025 as National Safe Boating Week. And I don't think there's anyone here from the Coast Guard to accept it, so we will mail them a copy. Item 3, proclamation proclaiming May 4th through May 10th, 2025 as Professional Municipal Clerks Week.
Whereas the office of the professional municipal clerk, a time-honored and vital part of local government, exists throughout the world, and whereas the office of the professional municipal clerk is the oldest among public servants, and whereas the office of the professional municipal clerk provides the professional link between the citizens, the local governing bodies, and agencies of government at other levels. Whereas the professional municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all. Whereas the professional municipal clerk serves as the information center of functions of local government and community. Whereas professional municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of the clerk through participation in educational programs, seminars, workshops, and the annual meetings of their state, provincial, county, and international professional organizations. Whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the village clerk's office. Therefore, be it resolved, the mayor of the Village of Tequesta does hereby recognize the week of May 4th through 10th, 2025 as Professional Municipal Clerks Week in Tequesta.
Thank you, Lori. And the final proclamation is proclaiming May, this is not on my agenda, so it's May 11th through May 17th, 2025 as National Police Week and National Peace Officers Memorial Day.
Whereas in 1962, President John F. Kennedy proclaimed May 15th as National Peace Officers Memorial Day, and the calendar week in the week which May 15th falls as National Police Week. As the established resolution with Congress in 1962, National Police Week pays special recognition to those law enforcement officers who have lost their lives in the line of duty for the safety and protection of others. And whereas since the first recorded death in 1786, 26,959 law enforcement officers in the United States have made the ultimate sacrifice and been killed in the line of duty. Whereas 147 officers have lost their lives in the line of duty in 2024 and 118 officers in the previous year. Whereas there are more than 800,000 law enforcement officers serving in communities across the United States, including the dedicated members of the Village of Tequesta Police Department. And whereas, while safeguarding the life and property of our citizens, Chief Gus Medina and the men and women of the department unceasingly provide a vital public service. And whereas National Police Week will be observed this year, May 11th through 17th. Whereas May 15th is designated as Peace Officers Memorial Day in honor of all fallen officers and their families, and U.S. flags should be flown at half-staff. Now therefore, the Village of Tequesta Mayor hereby proclaims the week commencing May 11th, 2025, be recognized in the Village of Tequesta as National Police Week, and publicly salute the service of law enforcement officers in Palm Beach County and communities across the nation. She further directs that pursuant to the United States of America Public Law 103-322, that all flags be flown at half-staff on Thursday, May 15th, 2025, Peace Officers Memorial Day, in honor of all the fallen officers and their families.
Thank you. Okay, with that, moving on to the consent agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, any communications from the citizens?
I don't have any cards.
No, any communications from citizens on agenda, items that are not on the agenda? Nope. Okay. All right, communications from council.
I don't have anything tonight.
Nothing, Mayor.
Councilmember French?
I do not have any comments as well.
Okay. Just a couple quick informational items. On April 14th, I attended the annual Beach Road Association meeting. They held it at the Lighthouse. It was a beautiful setting. I know police department was there as well. And I gave them an update on our recently approved strategic plan, and also just kind of informed them of ways they can get involved with the community, whether it's on a committee, a board, doing our residence academy, the boating and safety class we offer. And it was a great meeting. The police department spoke as well, so did the sheriff's office, Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. Didn't get a lot of questions. They actually had a couple legislative questions for us. One was the accessory dwelling units, which I think failed, so that's not one I don't think we have to worry about for now. But it was a good meeting. I'm always happy to represent Tequesta at that. And then yesterday I attended, and so did some of our police officers, a law enforcement appreciation breakfast at the McDavid Group Charities in Tequesta. That was, again, it was really well attended with police from all over the county, and Mayor Marino was there as well, so that was a nice event. And I know they want to get a little more involved with the community locally here, so that was good to hear. And then just right before the meeting, the manager, Jay, police department, we were at the Gelona's 17th anniversary celebration. It was also the 25th anniversary of the creation of the National Conservation Lands, and the Gelona property is the only one in the east, which is pretty shocking. So that was a nice event. And then Coral Cove, I had asked the manager to get an update there. Their restrooms have been under construction for quite some time. And then I noticed that the lifeguard station isn't guarded all the time now, so he's working on getting an update from the county, and we'll communicate that when we get an answer. Right, that's all I have. Okay, moving on, agenda item 12, appointments. So let me pull this. Lori, do you have anything to present, or do you want me to just roll into the appointments for the?
Nope, just gonna roll right into the appointments.
Okay. All right, the first one this evening is for the Environmental Advisory Committee. The requested appointments are Tom Bradford, who is an existing committee member, and Brad Freese, who is the chair, existing chair. And then we have a vacant seat. I do not believe that we received any applications for that. So council, I'll open that for discussion.
I have a few comments if you can hear me clearly.
Yep.
First for all the committees, they're a huge asset and resource to me as preparing for any council meeting or workshop. It's nice to be able to hear their comments via the recorded session or in person and kind of see how and why they voted. So for any of the committees out there, thank you, and I appreciate those viewpoints. On the EAC, I'll continue with the appointment request. I have no issues there. I would like to recommend that we change the meeting times to 6 p.m. and then also every other month, and reduce the committee to 5 by attrition, not by removing anybody currently, because I believe we have 6. Please correct me if I'm wrong on that.
That'd be correct. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, my suggestion would be 6 p.m. every other month, and then 5 committee members via attrition.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to defer to, you know, as far as the time seems to be an issue, or might be an issue. But I know I've read the opinion that, you know, it could cost more money for the village if we push it to 6, which is a consideration. I don't know, as far as the frequency of it, I really defer to the committee on that one. If they feel like they need to meet monthly, or if they don't meet monthly, that the agenda's just gonna grow too much and the meetings are gonna expand, then I don't really have an opinion on that. But I think it's fine to, by attrition, I share the opinion with Jason on dropping it to 5.
Okay, got it.
Good?
Yeah, finish your train of thought.
Okay.
But, I'm sorry.
When the lawyer starts talking, I usually stop talking.
But you're a lawyer.
Yeah, you know.
Well, yeah, I know how it works. But, yeah, I mean, if the time will make a big difference and the committee feels that, then I think it's something to consider. But my understanding is there could be costs associated with that.
Okay, and Keith reminded me that this is for the appointments, so these are all good discussion topics, and I think maybe we could add this to a workshop
Yeah,
agenda to discuss, to see how council would like to move forward with the
Yeah.
EAC.
I have no comments on the reappointments.
Same.
Okay, yeah.
The request for reappointment, I am fine with. The vacant seat, I can go either way. I'm actually okay if we leave it for now and revisit if necessary. I mean, consensus, I'll go with consensus on that one.
Okay, and I'm good with the reappointments, and I do agree, I think there's some discussion there that we can add to a workshop to think how we'd like to proceed with the future of the EAC. And I know one of the members is here, Mr. Bradford. I usually, reappointments, I don't necessarily call you to talk because we know you very well too, so, but would you like to get up and say anything?
Nothing in regard to me and the appointment, but if it should help, the EAC is aware of the concerns about, you know, frequency of meeting, time of meeting, how do we get more attendance, et cetera. For what it's worth, at our next meeting next week, we have on the agenda us making recommendations to you as to what we think might help. We have not had an opportunity to talk about it amongst ourselves, so that meeting next week would be our first opportunity. And we could tell you what our recommendations would be, and you can either take them or ignore them, whatever you want. But that'll be something that's coming down the pike next week. That's all I had.
Okay, nope, thank you for that, and yeah, it'll be perfect timing for, when we workshop, and I'm sure we would invite probably the chair to that meeting to, present what you guys discussed, so thank you. And do I need to can I make a motion at the end, or do I need to do one for each, committee? How should I, because it's one agenda item.
Why don't we do them
It's a
why don't we do them
resolution.
separately?
Okay, all right, so can I get a motion to, approve the reappointments for the EAC?
So moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And next is the Planning and Zoning Board. We have a reappointment request for Leslie Dasher, who has served for quite some time, Sherry Ambrose, and Marie Sapiri as alternate 1. The vacant seat is alternate 2, and then Jared Gaylord is alternate 3, and he has applied to be reappointed. And we have new applicants, who is Fred Lazauer, if I said that right, and Robert Feely. Is Robert Feely here? Great. And then, since you guys are new applicants, would you mind coming up and just telling us a little bit about yourself and why you're interested in joining the Planning and Zoning Board?
Go ahead.
Hello, I'm Robert Feely. Honestly, not sure what I was putting myself in for. I was just wanting to be a little bit more part of the community. I'm a certified general contractor, moved up here from Fort Lauderdale in 2019, wanting to get involved a little bit within the community. Was wondering if my 30-plus years of construction might be helpful, and that's it.
Great, thank you. Council,
Thank you.
any questions?
Yep.
No, ma'am.
No?
Nope.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Fred?
Actually, I'm the same way. I'm not sure exactly what I signed up for, but the fact of the matter is, I attended the Residence Academy. I found it quite inspiring. To the mayor's comments regarding the opening prayer, talk about service. I've been retired for 12 and a half, 13 years. I try to give back. I've been on a number of boards, including Jupiter Medical, president of the auxiliary with 400 members. I just want to give back to the community. We've lived here full-time for about 13 years. It's been a wonderful experience, and I'm here to serve. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Council, do you have any questions for Fred?
I do not,
No,
thank you.
ma'am.
Okay. All right, I will open up for discussion.
I'll start. Take turns. Let me scroll back up. All right, so in respect to the residents that have been serving, I'd like to keep them in their seats as they have requested to be reappointed. I don't logistically or logically have any reasons not to put them there. We have been smooth moving, a lot of good constructive feedback when they have their meetings. And keep Mrs. Sapiri in her alternate one. And where's the other one? Where'd it go?
Here you go.
Why is it like all over the place? Okay, and then move Mr. Gaylord up to alternate 2. And then I recommend that council considers Fred Lazare for the next seat, which would be alternate 3. Really just coming down, I respect anyone with construction experience. I think it can be very useful. I would highly encourage you to come back because we need all different types of eyeballs on anything that comes through the village. Fred has been here quite a while and has been getting involved even since before today by doing the Residence Academy and keeping tabs on our agendas and keeping in the loop of what's happening in Tequesta. Plus, I think he will bring some history of what it used to be, what it's turning into. We still have people changing and modernizing and finding that nice compromise. I think he's a resident that's going to have a good, well-rounded viewpoint on that to add to the current committee members. So that is my recommendation.
Thank you.
Jason, you want to go? You want me to go?
I can take it, Patrick. I agree with Councilmember Brandon's comment and following past practice as well. So I'm going to echo exactly what she said, and I don't know the background of any further background of 2 new applicants, but also past practice was listen in order of the application received.
Okay. Yeah, I won't take too much time. I agree. I think what planning and zoning does is so helpful for us. The recommendations they make for us are extremely helpful, and I think they've done a great job. So as far as the reappointments, everybody who's there, Jared moving up, and then I would agree only because of the order in which the applications were received. I think both Mr. Lissauer or Feely would be great. And I definitely encourage you to come back. I'm in construction too, so I understand, you learn a lot throughout that process with planning and zoning. But given the order the applicants were received and your tenure within the community, I would recommend Mr. Lissauer for that.
Okay, thank you. And I agree with the recommendation too, because I know Fred's really engaged in the community and did the Residence Academy. And Robert, please do apply again. Definitely look into a Residence Academy. We've gotten a lot of people on council, on our other boards and committees through the Residence Academy. So it's a really great way to start to get involved and learn about how the village operates completely. So thank you both for applying. We really appreciate you being willing to give up your time.
Yeah, thank you.
And then I just realized, since we're breaking up the the motions. I did not take public comment on the EAC. Was there any public comment cards for the EAC? Any public comment on the Planning and Zoning Board appointments? No. Okay, so can I get a motion to reappoint Leslie Dasher and Sherry Ambrose to the regular seats, Marisa Piri, alternate 1, move up Jared Gaylord to alternate 2, and appoint Fred Lazauer as alternate 3?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, scrolling through the agenda. Next up is the General Employee Pension Board. We have Mr. Kyle Stone is requesting a reappointment, and we have 1 vacancy, and we have new applicant Matthew Maluzzi. Did I say that right? Sorry. Who is an unincorporated Tequesta resident. I do believe you're in Palm Beach County unincorporated side, correct? Okay, would you mind coming up and telling us a little bit about yourself and why you want to get involved?
Yeah,
Mayor,
so,
if I could point out too, that on the agenda, I have that he is, has a financial planning business. He works at the business. He's not a partner yet.
Okay.
yes, so my name is Matt Lucy. I grew up here in the Tequesta Jupiter area. I live in Tequesta Hills now, which is actually where I was born as well, but spend time in Tequesta Oaks, and my parents are now in the Inlet colony. Moved back here in August of 2021, and I just saw this as an opportunity to be able to give back and serve in the community. I've been a financial planner with Carey Stamping Company for the past few years, and recently started to run our financial planning department. We get to work with individuals that are going through the Florida Retirement System program, so I know it's a different pension program here for the Village of Tequesta, but I think my experience through that would be beneficial for this. And I'm a certified financial planner, so not only do I want to, I'm legally obligated to act in the best interest of other individuals who look at financial matters, and so just be honored to serve in this opportunity.
Thank you. Any questions, council?
One question.
Yes.
Does Carey Stamping Company still going to be in the village? Because that building just sold.
We are relocating, yes. I'm very still ingrained here in Tequesta. I'm also the worship leader at Family Church Tequesta, where Jason attends. So very, very much ingrained in the village here, and don't plan on leaving anytime soon.
Okay, I was just curious. I didn't know if you guys were moving too far
Yes.
away or not.
Yeah, we are still relocating, just needed more space, so.
Okay.
I don't have any questions. Sounds like you have a great background for it, and love your dedication to the community, and yeah, that's it.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you. All right, any discussion, council?
I mean, I would make a recommendation that we appoint him to the vacant seat and reappoint Mr. Stone, sorry.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Okay, Councilmember French?
Same comments, even though Matt is our only applicant, I do believe he's qualified to serve as that role.
Okay, and definitely well qualified, and thank you for applying. I was surprised that we allow unincorporated residents to apply for our boards and committees, but I think, especially since you're on the Palm Beach County side, that is acceptable. Do we have a formal resolution or anything that says that, like, could someone from unincorporated Martin County apply for a vacancy? How does that work? Because we want to make sure that everyone's, like, representing the best interest of the village.
We do not
Incorporated.
have any policy that states that anybody in Martin County couldn't apply. The ordinance does say you need to be a resident of Tequesta. However, the pension board legal previously opined, because we were in this situation in 2021, that opined in the past that if we need to opt, out and have someone out of the village boundaries, we could in order to keep the board functional. It is a concern for pension boards to remain functional, and it is very difficult to get members to serve on either of the two pension boards. So that was a previous opinion that they had come out with, but it is completely up to the village council. Our ordinance does state a residency of the village of Tequesta.
Okay,
So, but
All right.
I thought it was important to put it forward.
great. Okay. All right, is there any public comment? Nope. All right, can I get a motion to request reappointment of Kyle Stone and appointment of Matthew Malusi on the General Employee Pension Board?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's quick.
right, and the last one is a Public Safety Pension Board. We have requested reappointment of David Hudson and Christopher Cowles, and there are no new applicants. So I don't think any of them are here tonight, no. All right, any council discussion on this one?
No, ma'am.
All right, can I get a motion, or any public comment? Oh, can I get a motion on the reappointments?
I will make a motion to reappoint David Hudson and Christopher Cowles.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 The mayor, I think since that was a resolution, we want to do one motion to pass the resolution as all, because that's the way.
All right.
So, sorry.
Can I get a final motion to pass the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Right. Again, thank you so much, everyone on these committees and boards, for donating your time to the village. It really means a lot, and you do great things for the staff and the community. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, moving on to standing reports. Village Attorney.
Thanks, Mayor. Not much tonight, with the tumultuous legislative session still trudging forward. We're putting the finishing touches on our interim legislative memo. That you should be getting that next week, but it's still, it's going to show you which bills got through the legislative process, but most, if not all, have still yet to be presented to the governor. So there's still a lot of question marks, but we'll be getting the sort of first phase of that memo next week, and that's all I have for you tonight.
And the Florida League of Cities issued, it's like a 133-page document that's kind of a summary of all the bills. If you're interested, you can access it on their website, and it's a good summary of everything if you care and have the time to read all that. All right, Village Manager.
The final rule by FWC has been published for the no wake zone. That is from Cato's Bridge to 2,525 feet north of Cato's Bridge. That has not took effect yet, but I know that they're working on the signs and installation of the signs. So once that is becomes official, where we're going to be enforcing that, we'll do some public engagement. When we do see people violating, we're going to try to do it the Tequesta way and inform them. At least for the, when it first starts up, and I know FWC will be out there as well. This week we started part of our annual road maintenance plan, began work on Pine Hill Trail west of Riverside, Buttonwood Circle, Beechwood Trail, Chestnut Trail, and Cedar Hill Lane. As we progress more through this, and we'll provide updates and provide the proper notifications in those areas. Likely be a part of Marjorie's report, so I'm still in a little bit of her thunder, but the Dover Ditch project's finally been permitted after almost 2 years, and so we'll be putting that out for bid on the 13th. We'll be reviewing the budget in preparation for council. We have a budget, our first budget workshop is June 16th. And the Remembrance Park has had some delays with electrical and some things out of the contract's control, but we are still on track for final completion by July 14th. So excited that's coming right around the corner. We'll be doing a ribbon cutting. We're going to start planning for that as soon as we get the final dates that they'll be done. May 14th is the Environmental Advisory Committee meeting. Usually they meet right before the council, but the way that the meetings fell, they're meeting after us this week or this month. The Village Council Workshop on June 2nd. Village Council Workshop on June 12th, and then the Budget Workshop on June 16th. And then the last thing I want to say is I've talked to Richard Ratcliffe with Florida League of Cities. No one, they have no record of anybody from Tequesta ever serving on the board for the Florida League of Cities, for Palm Beach County, Palm Beach County League of Cities. Our mayor has served on the board the last few years, and as of May 28th, she will be installed as the president of the Palm Beach County Managers, or League of Cities. So congratulations to her, and what a great representation for Tequesta that we've never had on that board. So it's great.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Any comments or questions for the manager?
Is there an update on that AT&T box? A timeline?
I will get you one.
Still
I
sitting
know
there?
we sent an email, it was either early in the week or last Friday I saw it, and we were asking for an update. I don't think we've gotten a return request on that yet, so.
You're our messenger, so.
We're trying. I know Doug has been trying, so I see the
know.
emails.
Any other comments or questions? Nope. Okay, police department.
Evening, Mayor, Council. For the month of April, the officers have been busy, to say the least. We had our civilian firearm safety class. We have another one coming this Saturday as well. We fingerprinted 5 people. As I've always said, it's free of charge for any resident. Outside residents pay, I believe, $25, $40. We continue with the aggressive driving grant, traffic grant. We also had Coffee with a Cop and the Easter open house that we assisted with fire, as well as park and recs. We continue with the Explorers meetings, our boater safety course. In regards to training, the officers all went through pepper spray training once again, fire suppression training, thanks to the fire department for their assistance. Speed measurement for Officer Schechter and Demafonte. Bike helmet fitting, 3 additional officers. Internal affairs training for Lieutenant Blanc and Sergeant Yildiz. Firearms evidence submission to Officer Kowalski. Car seat installation, Officer Pruitt. Again, that's free of charge for any resident. And domestic violence intervention for Corporal Ramirez, and field training officer for Officer Pruitt and Huskisson. And that's what I have.
Thank you. Any comments or questions?
Thank you, Chief.
No. I just want to thank you for putting the share the road messaging out. I had a conversation with Chief last week, or I think it was last week. I had witnessed a e-bike and car incident, not in our city, in another city, and it was not the e-bike rider's fault. It was the automobile's fault, and I kind of realized that every forum I've been in that's talked about e-bikes, it's always been really directed at the e-bike rider. So I was like, we really need to get out messaging too, like the share the road, like, people in the vehicles need to pay just as much attention. So I appreciate that, because everyone needs to, have responsibility in sharing the road and being alert and attentive to all these new e-bikes that are on the road. So thank you, appreciate that. Okay, fire department.
Good evening, everyone. All right, so as usual, we had lots of meetings throughout the county. We were well represented. We have several of our members sit on boards, EMS providers, and the training committee for the entirety of Palm Beach County, so they do a really nice job there. I have 2 meetings left with the department heads from the village for hurricane preparedness. If you've been on our social media, you've seen we're doing kind of a countdown. This is Hurricane Preparedness Week. So just trying to get everybody up to speed on what's coming out of the National Weather Center. They're expecting somewhere between 13 and 18 named storms this year, so it should be relatively busy, and we will be prepared. I gave a presentation at Jupiter Inlet Colony about the services we provide for them, fire and EMS, and I think it went very, very well. And if Mr. Allen hasn't heard anything yet, then I'm going to assume that that's the truth. So, I went to my first chili cook-off planning meeting. Wow. That's an intense group, and I can't wait to attend. It'll be my first. So my kids are very disappointed they can't go for a few more years. Let's see, STAR training at Palm Beach State College, STAR is Survival Techniques and Rescue. It's basically a get out of alive of a bad situation if you get separated from your crew inside of a burning building, Our life scan, blood work, and physicals have wrapped up. I don't know how much any of you know about LifeScan, but it basically is a preventative measure that they do every year through their collective bargaining agreement. I helped write the grant in one of my former departments, and it's saved some lives of guys that I'm close with. So it's a great thing that they go through every year. They go through an extensive blood work process, and they get a life scan, or basically an ultrasound from about the jawline down to the mid-thigh. They have a new one out. It's basically a full body scan. I'm looking into the cost, and I'm looking into what kind of grants are out there, so we can maybe upgrade as technology gets better. Maybe we can move to that in the future, or at least get what it would be, the increase would be. I'm sure it's more expensive. Let's see, our physical ability tests are ongoing right now. They do those annually as well. So far, so good. I think tomorrow is the last day, and so far everybody has passed. Let's see, other information. We did receive an attaboy from the EMS providers of Palm Beach County. We received an award for Call of the Year, and it was well before I got here. It was last June, I believe, and they did a great job with a special needs young man, and saved his life in the back of the rescue. So I'm very proud of the men and women over there, and even before I got here, they were doing a great job. So can't take credit for that one, but we'll be there. It's at the EMS Providers Banquet, which is in about 2 weeks. We had our Easter open house. There's a picture of it. Oh my God. I've never seen anything like that either. If that's anything like the chili cook-off, that should be pretty good. And then we had a Bring the Child to School event, which went very well. Also, we picked a young lady up in the engine and took her to school at Good Shepherd. It was awesome. I was glad to be a part of it. So that's about all I have. Any questions?
Thank you. Council?
No, but I'm glad you're enjoying our small town vibe.
It's awesome.
We are
It
small,
really
but
is.
small
Yeah,
but
I love
mighty.
it. I love it. Thank you.
No, it was, the Easter event was awesome, by the way.
It really was.
Really cool.
Yeah, I had
Thank
a
you.
great time.
Yeah.
Just get out of their way.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, and Utilities Department.
Hey, good morning, good
Good
morning.
evening.
It's been a long day, so, good evening, Marjorie Craig, Utilities Director. As the manager mentioned, we'll be, actually, the projects are, for Water Main 1 will be bid out on Monday, and Dover Ditch will be bid out on Tuesday. They're both already, Allison was just finished up loading them on Demand Star, so they're ready to go, and then they'll go live on Monday and Tuesday. You can see in the report that Holtz Engineering and I gave a presentation on Dover Ditch at the LRPI meeting, and everyone's really interested to see that project move forward. Beach Road number 2, we're still waiting for the agreement from DEP. We've reached out. And then today, you have on the agenda the filter media replacement for approval and execution. With that, we've done the update for the projects that's loaded on our page, and we've got the dashboard as well. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, wait a minute. We have a new engineering intern. Victoria Gonzalez is here. Victoria, could you come out?
Welcome.
Come on up. Come introduce yourself.
Very importantly, she's here.
Hi, my name's Victoria. I'm a student at Florida Atlantic University. I'm starting my senior year in environmental engineering, and I'm very excited to be here. It's already been a very educational opportunity, and I'm excited to work on projects that will help the community for sure.
Thank you.
Awesome.
And you're working on a dual master's, right?
Yeah, I'm going to be getting my master's in civil engineering.
Oh, no big deal.
No big deal. We just have the best here, so thank you so much.
Well, welcome.
Any questions?
Council?
Nothing. Thank you, Margaret.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to the regular agenda under old business. Item 17, ordinance number 03-25, which is a second reading, updating some of the vacation rental code.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance 0325, ordinance of the Village Council, Village of Tequesta, Florida, amending Chapter 78 zoning, Article 14, vacation rentals, Section 78-891, vacation rental permit application, and Section 78-893, vacation rental standards in order to accurately conform these provisions to building and fire prevention codes, providing that each and every other section, subsection, Chapter 78 shall remain in full force and effect as previously adopted, providing conflicts clause, severability clause, authority to codify effective date and for other purposes.
Thank you. Council, any comments or questions on this one?
No, seems to make sense. LPA
We discussed
voted
it.
5-0, so yeah, it's all good.
No
Councilmember?
comments here.
Okay, all right. Any public comment? Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Agenda item 18, ordinance number 02-25, second reading of updating some of our election codes with campaign filing and vacancy.
For the electronic filing of campaign finance reports when requested by the village clerk. Also amending Division 2, Section 2251, inspectors and other election workers, to add the Palm Beach County Supervisor of Elections as being authorized to appoint poll workers for village polling places. Also amending Division 3, Section 2273, vacancy and candidacy or prior to taking office, to add examples of residency proof proof requirements, creating section 2-270, qualifications to describe qualifications for candidacy and provide examples of residency proof requirements, providing that each and every other section, subsection in chapter 2 shall remain in full force and effect as previously adopted, providing conflicts clause, severability clause, authority to codify an effective date and for other purposes.
Thank you. Council, any comments or questions?
I have none.
No, ma'am.
None here.
Okay. Any public comment? Okay. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
On to new business. Agenda item 19, consider approval of request from the Jupiter Inlet Lighthouse and Museum to utilize the village's banner frames located along US Highway 1 within the village of Tequesta to promote their signature event, Rendezvous at the Light. And Wayne's name's on it, but I don't think Wayne's here. Jeremy, is anyone presenting? I think there are people from the Lighthouse here to
I can
speak
give a
to.
summary. I mean, we typically haven't had a lot of banners that have been on that site, so we put this through the special events process to let council decide on that. And so they want to use it for their, the rendezvous at the Lighthouse event, rendezvous at the Lighthouse event. It falls on the same time, similar to where the chili cook-off is. They have conceded that, and so they will keep the sign off until after the chili cook-off's banner has moved, if the council allows them to. So I think the chili cook-off is the 8th. Their event is on the 22nd, and so they would have that banner up on that corner from the, I guess, the 9th through the 22nd.
Okay, and does anyone from Lighthouse want to come up and say anything? You don't have to, but if you want to. Okay.
We're just thankful for the opportunity and for the exposure as well. So thank you guys.
Right, council, any discussion?
Is this the north corner or the south corner?
It's the north
North
where
one.
the chili cook-off banner
There's
always is.
There's a sign on the south side, or there used to be a sign on the south side. Is that not there anymore?
It's still there. That's Jupiter.
So just asking, does Jupiter ever put a Lighthouse Rendezvous banner there?
Our former executive director had conversations with the town of Jupiter. That was prior to my time there, so I'm not sure what those conversations were, but I was told that that was not an option.
Interesting. Is there a just because you are over there all the time, right, at the Lighthouse?
Yes.
Is there a banner there right now?
There is a small billboard, yes.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. It doesn't conflict with any of our events. So I'm happy to promote it.
Okay. Councilmember French?
I support as well. Supporting the Lighthouse and the event itself is a great event, I think, for the community and a lot of us here in Tequesta attend.
Yeah, I agree. I think, you know, they're a great partner of our community, you know, part of that. They're on the BLM land, and part of that is technically in Tequesta. And, you know, I've attended the event in the past, and there's actually quite a bit of Tequesta restaurants that participate too. So I think it's really relevant. And yes, I agree, they would, the chili cook-off would have precedence with the signage, and when that is down, you could put yours up. So I'm good with it as well.
Yeah, that's just where I'm sitting. I'm looking at the dates. So there is a way to combine both banners at the same time, or it would be one banner at a time?
One banner at a time. So I think the chili cook-off is on the 8th, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but it's got to be
Okay.
either the 8th or 9th. And then their event is on the 22nd. So, you know, I have talked to Dave McGovern that, you know, he's aware of this. And so, you know, when their event is over, the next day it'll be taken down and they
You
can
start
put
with
theirs up.
that. Okay.
I thought
That's
I did
fine.
start
It's
with
nothing on the Lighthouse, and I actually helped promote that Lighthouse event on social media, so we can still take us. I was one of them last year to try to push some of those last-minute tickets. It's just a matter of making sure we're being fair, and the cook-off has done it before, and it is located in Tequesta the event, so I'm just trying to make sure that there's room for everybody. It's a shame that Jupiter won't let you use that sign. I don't know the reason. I'm a little confused by that. But we will take care of you. We'll take care of it.
We'll take care of it.
One more additional comment. I did hear it's in Tequesta, right?
The sign?
The sign will
Yeah.
be,
Yeah.
yeah, it'll be on the, it'll
North
be
side.
the north, that would be the northeast side of that intersection.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any public comment? Oh, can I get a motion to approve?
So moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Agenda item 20, a site plan modification number 01-25 from GMH Tequesta Holdings to update their roof material and color.
This is quasi-judicial. This agenda item is a quasi-judicial proceeding, so anybody who will be offering testimony and evidence to the council needs to be sworn in. I can swear everybody in at the same time. Do you swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that your testimony to the village council will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You can all have a seat or stay at the podium. And then Councilman French and the council members on the dais, I need to ask for ex parte disclosures, whether it's conversations with staff or the applicant or site visits or any other things that you've done relative to this application outside of this setting would need to be disclosed at this time on the record.
I have none.
None.
No? All right.
Councilmember French?
No contact communication.
All right, then I can turn this back over to you, Mayor, and we can proceed with the agenda item.
Okay. Jay?
Good evening, Jay Hupsch, Community Development Director. So we're going to have Meg Weibel, our site planner, present. She's been here about a year now, but this is her first time in front of council, so please take it easy on her.
Good evening, everyone, and council. Thank you for allowing me to present this to you. This is 701 Old Dixie Highway. It's the Futures Recovery and Healthcare site plan modification. So first, we're just going to visit the site. This is the location of proposed work. The next is the entire site, just to fill you in. It does continue up to the north as well. So background, since 2010, 701 has been operating as Futures Recovery and Healthcare, a rehabilitation facility located in the mixed use and village center overlay. The applicant is requesting a site plan modification to change the material and color of the existing roof. The proposed scope requires a recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Board and then final approval from the Village Council. Modification does not involve any changes to the use, square footage of the building, and it has no impact on parking. The proposed change is limited to exterior aesthetics. This request qualifies as a site plan modification pursuant to 2253A, requiring the Planning and Zoning Board to provide recommendation, and the Council will deliver final decision. Planning and Zoning Board did meet on April 17th, and they unanimously determined that the proposed roof color and material complies with the aesthetic standards of Section 2282 and recommends approval. Here are the current site conditions. This is their front entryway, and then this is an overhead of the roof. Here is a proposed rendering with the updated roof material and color. Here is the proposed material and the proposed material color. They're going for a tropical patina. So what's in place right now is like a green barrel tile, clay barrel tile, and this would be a metal seamless rooftop. All right, so here's a side-by-side of the current material and color and then the proposed. When we were doing this, we were trying to get you elevations of what the proposal would look like in the end. But this site has a lot of landscaping. So if you were traveling south down Old Dixie looking towards the site, you can see the landscape plan down there in the left-hand corner, and then that's the view that you get. So you don't really get to see the elevations. This is continuing south where the entrance is, and then past the entrance. And then on Village Boulevard, when you're looking to the north, again, you have just dense, mature landscaping. Criteria for review: harmony with other buildings, harmony with surroundings, facades. Methods of design: inappropriate building styles, garish design, exterior forms, the use of color. This site plan modification is limited to exterior aesthetics. It maintains the current use and scale of the property. It requires no additional parking and follows the review and approval process outlined in Village Code. I do also have a representative from the project here, Jason, if you have any questions for either of us.
Okay, thank you. Open it for discussion.
Yay. I might have a question for you. Sorry.
Is
Is it technical? Do I need my notes?
No, it's not technical. It's just a general curiosity. Is there any talks of painting the building in the near future to go with this new roof color?
So the proposed roof color is only marginally different than the color of the existing roof if it wasn't so dirty.
Yeah.
So the color scheme will go really nicely with what it is, and I've had absolutely no talk or
Just
heard
curious.
any conversation about
That's fine.
changing.
I was
the
just
color.
literally just curious. Yeah. No, this color also is becoming more popular, and it is somewhat similar. It's just like you said, it is dirty, so it's a little bit more subdued currently. There is actually a residential house that has a color similar to this now. Yeah, here it comes. But I actually, ironically, I appreciate not going dark. It just creates more heat. So that's all I have.
It feels very Florida.
I'm from Florida. I remember all the tropical colors.
I don't have any comments. I think it'll look nice, and that roof material will last for a very long time, so.
Councilmember French?
Great job, Meg. I do not have any comments. I think it looks nice as well. I support it.
Yep, I agree. It's a nice improvement, and it's very similar to what's there, so it's not that big of a change. Okay, any public comment? No? Right, can I get a motion? To
So
approve?
moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Meg.
Thanks.
Okay, agenda item 21, consider approval of Holtz Consulting work authorization for water main number 1 replacement.
I'm Marjorie Craig, Utilities Director, and you may remember we had bid water mains number 1 and 4 back in 22 when I first got here, November 15th. I mean, it was several months after I got here. And so we're coming back, due to the capital fund, or the capital charge that we have on the water bill, we're now able to recommend funding this as a pay-go project. And this is the part of the construction engineering inspection, which would go to the engine of traffic.
Question, there's some, like El Portal Drive from Yacht Club Place to Country Club Drive. Is most of this in?
We looked at going in the right-of-way, not in the pavement, but we will have to go for a certain distance in the pavement. But the Public Works Director and I have discussed the extent of the repaving after the project is done, and it will go from the entire intersection there at El Portal through the entire intersection at,
Okay.
we tried.
Funny.
Not that
Yeah,
it's
it's nice to
going
try to coordinate that in advance, and I know, but I will say, they were raising all the manholes on Gulfview Drive this week, which
Oh, yeah,
again,
you're
we
playing
have
Frogger.
the patches, but it is so fantastic that those are being raised, and, you're not gonna have the bump.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Agenda item 22, resolution 09-25, authorizing a budget amendment.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. It's good to be here. I've got the budget amendment, our first budget amendment of the year. We do 2 of these a year. The first one, in fact, several of these items have to do with Hurricane Milton. We were able to cover those costs with state grant and interest revenue, so we're doing a little better on interest revenue than we had budgeted. Then we have the fire department. They have some Milton overtime, also some changes for their salaries. And then their EMS transport money is coming in real strong, so we're able to use that, and interest revenue there too. And then Public Works had a accident. Somebody hit one of our poles, was destroyed. They're got an insurance reimbursement, and they're going to replace that pole. You have a water capital improvement, and you heard about that one on October 10, and that one's for $785,000, and that will come from reserves. That one was planned use of reserves. And then finally, the police department repaired Marine One. I love that. Marine One, so they repaired their boat, and that was 15. So Total change to the overall village budget is $1.3 million. And with that, I'll take questions.
Thank you. Council, any comments or questions for Jeff? No.
No comments.
No comments from me.
Okay. Any public comment? No. All right. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Agenda item 23, consider approval of Mock Ruse and Associates work authorization for well 19 replacement.
Good evening, Marjorie Craig, Utilities Director. And this is the second project that we are recommending moving forward, to the collection of the capital charge and paying a cash, paying for it on a cash basis. This project's ready to go. However, we have and when it's all about the tortoises. So we found we had 1 to 2 burrows on the site, and we had a survey done. We started looking at we want to put some fences around to keep the tortoises from getting back into the site, and found that our well sites are not included in the lease. So we've talked to DEP. We anticipate a 1 to 2 month delay. Of course, we can't predict that, but we'll keep you updated on any future delays, but we want to be ready to go, so we have put this on the agenda in anticipation of getting that lease amended to redrill well number 19. So the well is below grade, and it's really reached its useful life. Needs to be replaced.
Okay. Any comments or questions, council?
The fencing, it's not gonna work, just so you know.
It won't?
No, they do it out in Palmdale and it doesn't work, they just burrow underneath. So, if we're spending money on that, I'd say forget that, they're gonna burrow underneath it anyways, but that's my only comment.
I don't have any comments.
No comments.
Right. I have a quick comment on their contract. The schedule says, well, it has time to complete 420 calendar days and then cumulative time to complete 550 days. Did they come up with that estimate, or do we give them that schedule estimate? Because that's, like a year and a half, right? And I know their cost is usually based off of Schedule 2, so I just want to make sure that that's accurate. And I was just curious who came up with that.
It's a good question. The estimate is usually proposed by the consultant because based on many years of experience of drilling wells like this. We hope that it won't take that long. Also, one thing that I prefer is to do construction inspection services on a as-needed basis rather than a lump sum. So you'll see it's just the cost. So if it takes less time than that, it'll cost less. But there's always, if it takes more, this is a conservative estimate. And Allison, in your experience, she might want to speak as well. Well drilling.
Mayor, council members, thank you. And
What's your name?
Sorry, Allison Felsberg, Deputy Utilities Director. When it comes to the contract time, the majority of that is going to be the delays related to the ordering of materials. The control panel for the well, right now, they're about a year out for lead time. So there's going to probably be a gap where after they drill the well and get the well in, there's just going to be a period of time of no work while we get that control RTU cabinet, things like that in, and then installed after that. So there'll be a couple months where there won't be work going on, but we'll still have that contract underway and just waiting for those materials to come in. And regarding the tortoises, we will be installing like a geogrid around portions of the fence that goes underneath, so if they burrow, they can't get underneath the pad of the well.
I wish you luck.
Thank you. Yeah, so electrical components still remain the longest thing to get in, which you probably know, Councilmember Painter.
It happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the sub-consultants are lump sum, but then the main consultant is T&M, basically.
That's
Okay.
correct. And the
Which
sub-consultant.
helps then, so, okay. Great, okay. Thank you. Any public comment? No? Any public comment? All right, can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Agenda item 24, consider approval of Florida Design Contractors to authorize the award of contract for water treatment plant filter plant upgrades.
Marjorie Craig, Utilities Director, and I have Allison up here with me again because this was her first project that she bid out since she's been here. And we are recommending award of this project to the lowest responsible bidder, and it's Florida Design Contractors. We were really glad to receive 3 bidders and 3 solid bids, and the cost of the bid is just a little bit more than the engineer's opinion of probable cost. This is for we have essentially two plants out at the water treatment plant site. One is the filter plant, which treats the superficial aquifer well waters. And this will replace the filter media inside those filters and then rehab any of the guts inside that need to be rehabilitated. So we did bid the project as a worst case that we would have to rehab all of the guts inside. Any questions?
I have none.
No, ma'am.
Councilmember French?
No questions.
Okay. On the memo, it mentioned it was on hold because of the PFAS sampling as well, and I know we were under the recommendation. Is the DEP, is it still a recommendation, or have they done a final ruling on that yet?
So I probably have to get back to you on details, but I was just in an update yesterday, a legislative update, where they talked about it was being brought back to EPA to possibly lower this, or what I mean is make it a higher level standard, because the 4 is so low, the 4 parts per trillion, and they're looking at possibly 10 to 15, and they are looking at revising that rule potentially.
Okay. And so the work we are doing, it was on hold because we might have had to pivot depending on what the sampling was.
That's exactly
I mean,
right.
if anything changes down the road, would there be maybe more costs or changes to what we're doing now?
Yes, but this is, we can't wait on this. We must.
I agree. I want to just
Yes,
be
but you're
transparent and
absolutely-
really understand like what any potential, hopefully not risk, hopefully they don't make any major changes to what's already been put out as recommendation. But, okay, so there is potential.
There is
if
potential.
EPA makes any drastic changes that we would have more costs associated.
Yes, and as you may know, there are several different there are many types of PFAS and PFOA constituents, and the long chain and the short chain. There's basically long chain or short chain ones, and different treatment processes will remove different categories of PFAS or PFOA. So at that time, whatever the regulation is, we have like a study that has recommendations on what we could move forward with at that snapshot in time. At the conference that I was at, the technology is increasing all the time. The biggest issue is, what do you do with the either the spent carbon or the used ion exchange media. So, then you've got this media that has a PFAS still in it. Right now, you can only landfill it.
Okay, well, thanks for the update. And
Sorry,
like
I
said,
could
just
go
wanna
on and on.
No, it's good. It's a good update. And I just, like I said, want to be transparent and really understand.
Yes, it could be.
What's going on with this one. Okay.
As time goes on, we may have to have additional treatment.
Okay. All right. Any public comment? No? Any public comment? Okay. Council, can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The final agenda item, 25, is 2025 governmental assemblies appointments. Lori or Jeremy?
I can lead off. So I sent this to all of council, as you guys know. Everybody accepted their, since we didn't have an election, didn't have any changeover in council, everybody accepted their current positions that they currently serve on. So unless council has any change of mind or wants to do something different, that would be the recommendation.
I'm fine staying, as the regular member. I don't know if I'm the alternate there, but I do regularly, actually was at a meeting yesterday for the Palm Beach North Chamber and the Palm Beach North Chamber Economic Development Committee. I missed last month's, or was it last month? Yeah, but I regularly call into those. So I'm fine to stay on it, unless somebody else wants it.
I don't have any objections.
Is one thing to add for future next year and beyond. Something that should be added is the Palm Beach County Multi-Jurisdictional Issues Forum, because we have to have an appointment for that. I am on that by default since I'm on the multi-jurisdictional issues. It's a tongue tie, tongue twister one. Multi-jurisdictional issues forum executive committee. Okay. Any public comment, Lori? Nope. Okay. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
This was efficient.
No comments as well. I'm glad I was able to be clear.
Connect with council, and they put it's electeds from all 11 North municipalities, and they don't seat people from the same city at table. And I really appreciate the level of respect and professionalism up here with everyone, and how all of us have had votes that don't go our way, but we accept the outcome and we move on. And we don't, go back and continue to talk about it. And, that's not the case everywhere.
Yeah.
So I just want to say I really, really appreciate everyone up here and the work we do together, even when we don't agree. So thank you.
Thank you. And I will second that. I've only sat on one council, but after.
Okay.
There's a lot of high fives going on our side.
Yeah.
All right. With that, can we get a motion to adjourn?